Let's turn back to Iran now. This is something, this was it was good bipartisanship to have the Senate's Democrats and Republicans working on this, but this is something that, frankly, the president fought for months. He considered it an intrusion into his privilege here to negotiate what he called not a treaty, but a political agreement with a foreign country. But we had Democrats there, yourself included, voting 19-0 on this out of committee. Do you believe you've undermined your president on this issue?
No, not at all. In fact, I think America is stronger today as a result of the vote in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. We're on path to have much more unity between Congress and the White House. I think the president's in a stronger position now to deliver the type of diplomatic solution that prevents Iran from becoming a nuclear weapon state. That's our objective. It's a very simple objective. Iran cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. And I think this week we're on path with a stronger position because we have a bipartisan support for how Congress should oversight that agreement, and the administration's in agreement. So it's not unusual to have any administration disagree as to what role Congress should play in any of the work that they're doing. But I think we've worked out the right way for a thoughtful review by Congress to look at sanctions, since we imposed the sanctions, as to how those sanctions will be handled. You
know, I got to tell you, Senator, one of the difficulties covering this nuclear agreement is that it seems like the tale of two agreements. After the political agreement a couple weeks ago, the Iranians talk about a certain agreement back home. U.S. officials talk about another one here, and they seem to be at loggerheads. And on one of those key issues, which Senator Corker talked about, and I know you have strong opinion about as well, and the president said he has strong opinions about, and that is how sanctions relief is done. Is it done immediately? Is it done phased in? And the president, frankly, did not give a straight answer on that on Friday. He seems to be allowing for a lot of wiggle room there. I have to ask you, same question I asked the Republican Senator Corker, will the Senate reject a deal that gives immediate sanctions relief as opposed to phased-in sanctions relief on the sanctions that the Senate and Congress passed in recent years with regards to Iran's nuclear program?
Well, Bob Corker and I have worked very closely together to get the legislation that's moving through Congress to the president and signed. It is not a vote on the merits of an agreement. We don't know what's in that agreement until we see it in June. What's been agreed to on April 2nd was a framework. We need to see whether we accomplish our purpose. And our purpose is to have ample time before Iran could break out to a nuclear weapon, that we have full inspections so we can find out if they're cheating, because we don't trust Iran, and be able to take effective action to prevent Iran from becoming a nuclear weapon state. That's the objective of the diplomatic agreement. If that can be achieved, we've accomplished a great deal in keeping Iran from becoming a nuclear weapon state, a game changer in the region.
Let me ask you this before I let you go, because Senator Corker there said that over time he has watched the president move closer to Iranian positions over the 2 years of these negotiations, that the Iranians, in effect, started here, and the president's position has been moving closer, including on the basic issue of its program remains. All these nuclear sites remain modified, but none of them dismantled. I wonder if you agree with that assessment. Does the Obama administration want this deal more than Tehran, and are they showing that? Is Tehran taking advantage of that in the negotiations?
No, I would disagree with that. Look at what's been accomplished over the last many months. We've kept not only Iran's program in check, there's actually been a reduction of their capacity to be able to produce the nuclear materials for a weapon. The framework agreement's been adhered to by Iran. Many people thought that would not be the case. Now we need to make sure that they cannot produce a nuclear weapon, and we have the right to inspect to make sure that we know what they're doing.
Senator Ben Cardin, thanks for taking the time this Sunday morning. Great to have you on.
Thank you.